Thanks for tuning in to the Grid Center. I am your host Shane Falco along with Little D. We're here to bring you the Big Ten playoff recap / championship game preview. More towards the championship game preview.
Yeah.
First, we'd like to congratulate the number 1 seed Dynasty and number 2 seed Mad Dogs for making it to the championship game. This is the first time in Gridiron history that all 4 conferences feature the 1 and 2 seeds in the finals. So, again, we touched on it in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just goes to show that there's that, there was basically the top 2 teams and then kind of everybody else. Obviously teams week in and week out will have matchups or struggles or whatnot, but for the most part, it was basically the top 2 and everybody else. I mean, I think that was for the most part the case by record and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Other than this case where the Mad Dogs didn't have any clear separation in record, they came out on fire and then struggled down the stretch, but they managed to get through a very tough playoff win, beating Nellis, who upset Lockdown.
Yeah.
And then really the only big upset of the entire playoff bracket in any division was Nellis beating Lockdown, just by the fact that they were the 6 seed beating the 3.
How the fuck does Nellis beat Lockdown and lose to the Rebels?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No, it's just one of those things where Nellis. I do have an idea.
Do you?
Coach Greg flew in from across the country.
Yeah, he did,
and made a difference.
And he said, and I quote, "If I was here, that shit wouldn't have happened."
And he got his guy. He righted the ship. Whatever he did, it worked because they played 2 good games.
Did they?
They played 2 really good games. They gave Mad Dogs all they could handle. Sean was just on fire for the Mad Dogs, making some great snatches. By snatches, I mean catches. Somebody like Bear will take advantage of that.
No comment to that.
Anyway, Sean made some great catches in the game. Some big plays. Actually, Nellis was hanging with the Mad Dogs by throwing the ball over the top. They actually had some success throwing the ball deep over the middle of the field. And I think that caught the Mad Dogs off guard a little bit and kept them in the game. But in the end, the Mad Dogs made enough plays to win. And so they advanced. Dynasty made short work of Mana, who knocked off Scrappy Talon, as pretty much everybody predicted in the first round. Mana was never really in the game with Dynasty. So Dynasty, on their mission to finish the championship, we had an over-under set down by the commish for the SEC, and in the Big Ten, he wanted to send out an over-under for this game, and the over-under he wanted to set was after every good play of Dynasty, how many times Rocket mentions MVP over-under.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that situation is tough, but, cream always rises to the top.
Right.
If you ask anybody if they want an MVP trophy or championship trophy, 9 times out of 10, and that one is going to be Disco, that 9 times out of 10, they want championships.
Right.
So it is what it is. I mean, he had a hell of a season.
He did.
His team had a hell of a season.
He did.
And just got one more game.
That's right.
It's not guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed.
But they got one more game.
Nothing's guaranteed. A lot of people think that this game is already over. A lot of people think Dynasty is going to win. Championship games, they have a way of crazy things happening sometimes.
Well, I mean, hey, right now, Mark is the king of the throne. And he can win 2 championships back to back.
He could. Against some of the guys that he won with the previous time.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see.
It'll be very interesting to see.
There's a lot of storylines in this game. Diesel and his mantra of no sacks all season. Calling out the D-line for Dynasty, which includes the Defensive Player of the Year and many people's actual MVP, Randall.
That's my Randall. He's my MVP. He should have got MVP last year.
Yep.
He should have MVP last year, but hey, he does it all on both sides of the ball.
He does.
And Him and Diesel would be a good matchup. I just think that if Diesel, who's not the slimmest person in the world, if he can maintain them throughout the whole game, then it should be good. But it's really hard to stop Randall because he'll switch it up. He'll come through the middle. He'll come through the outside. It doesn't matter. So it's not like we're going to be watching Tank and Jordan.
Right.
But, you know, Randall just brings a lot to the table. And that's, you know, I'm not sure if he hasn't gotten a sack on him.
The only way for the Mad Dogs to win is to neutralize Randall.
Yeah.
I mean, Randall absolutely murdered him last game. And if you don't shut him down, then the Mad Dogs I don't think they have a chance, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either. Although, I mean, Dynasty does have a lot of good players.
They do.
That's their key. If you could take one person out of the loop, if you get Randall out of the loop and just neutralize everybody else, it sounds easy.
Right.
But it's going to be a hard task.
It will be.
You know.
I mean, there's good matchups. I mean, you know, you got some good skill players in the secondary for Dynasty. You know, Jimmy's a good corner, a real good corner. And it just makes it even better when Randall gets to put on that pressure. Because for one, he doesn't have to cover as long. And then two, it gives him a chance to go after the ball more. And then the Mad Dogs have great receivers. So, I mean, that's just a good matchup all around. So
Yeah, all right, receivers, decent receivers. But they're all right. They're okay. I mean, one or two guys are good, but you're talking about matchup and team speed wise. I mean, everybody can cover, and anybody can cover anybody on Dynasty.
Right.
With a matchup.
Right.
You know. So it is what it is.
It is.
It doesn't help them. And Dynasty has a free safety who's fast and athletic. This guy's like 6'3", 6'4". Just a big, tall, doofy-looking dude, but he stretches out the field, and there's really no over the top with this guy. Mad Dogs try to kill you underneath. A lot of their touchdown plays, some of them are deep, as far as Mark can throw it. But a lot of this shit that I've noticed, it comes underneath, a little short. They'll take a 10-yard pass or 5-yard pass, turn it upfield for a touchdown. So we'll see what happens.
Obviously, I think by far, you know, you take out the storylines and the skill players and whatnot. I mean, this game really comes down to the trenches.
Yep.
Does the Mad Dogs O-line contain Dynasty's D-line? If they don't do that, then this game's over. This game's already over.
I mean, there's a lot of scenarios, and we don't have time to cover them all.
No.
So feel free to go to LVGridiron.com forum, and they're talking about it all week. Matter of fact, they've been talking about this game for like 2 or 3 weeks.
I've been talking about this game since like week 4.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just the break. I mean, that's where the game's going to lie right there. Does the Mad Dogs O-line, if they hold up against the D-line and give Mark some time, then they're in the game. If they don't, then it can get ugly fast. The Mad Dogs know that Dynasty's going to be out there in the spread, so now they have some time to prepare for it. Does it make a difference? We don't know. I mean, you still have people like Jimmy and Randall in space, so, and then they still have the threat of, you know, Big John going down the sideline for those jump balls. So it's a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup for the Mad Dogs.
Yeah. But it's nothing impossible.
Nothing's impossible, absolutely. By no means, if they weren't capable of winning this game, they wouldn't be in this game.
Yeah.
The last time they met, it was only a 7-point game. So again, regular season means absolutely nothing here. So you throw all that out the window. It's a whole new game, a whole new game plan. Different players showing up in different moods, so you never know what's going to happen.
It's just I wish I could get into the head of Rocket. He's the quarterback. Mark doesn't have anything to lose. Mark has been in this situation last year. And it's like, it's whatever. He's going to come out there and do what Mark does. Just a lot of pressure on Rocket. And I think a lot of pressure he put on himself. He said he wanted to show everybody that he's going to take his game to the next level as far as, in the beginning of the season, of course, that he was going to